Listen, guys, number one thing that makes you to be lovable is by yourself being in a position to provide what we call freedom. Are you ready to provide freedom to the person you're looking forward to love? Are you ready to create the space? You know, we have people today that once you get in love with them, you miss your freedom. Your freedom disappears. You feel like you're in prison because you're loving someone. And sometimes we won't say because we want also to please them. So we live in the prison of being in love. You know, that's why I've been sometimes saying that before you get yourself into a commitment of a relationship, you must first of all realize that you need to detach yourself by being imprisoned by those kind of relationship, because relationship, if you get into it with somebody who doesn't understand that freedom has to be there from this onset until the last. People say that, you know, as a person, once you are in a relationship, once you are in a marriage, you need to stop this, you need to become this, you need to, now you are not the other person, you have changed, you are another person. Listen, guys, nobody changes just because they find another person into their lives. That's why my advice is always this: before you commit, be ready to accept them the way they are, because they're not going to change for you. So if they can't change for you, it means you're not going to get your freedom. Imagine being in a place where you are anticipating and you are hoping that somebody is going to change, but they're not changing. So you are imprisoned mentally and psychologically and emotionally because you are looking forward for a change in somebody, which is not going to happen. So are you that person who is ready to provide the freedom? What kind of freedom am I talking about here? Freedom of expression, freedom of being myself, freedom of doing the things the way I used to do them, freedom of just expressing myself the way I am. If I was a dancer, will I still dance because I'm with you? Are you going to give me that space? If I was a football fan, are you going to still allow me to go and watch football with my friends? People always say that, you know, once you get married, once you get into a relationship, now you need to stop going to watch those football. You're gonna put this person in a prison, because the moment he's not going to watch that football, he's with you in the house. He's here only to please you and not to please himself. You are imprisoning that person. Mentally, he's disturbed. He's not relaxed. He might not show. He might do this only to excite the society, only to fulfill the things that he's been told that now you need to change. Now you don't need to go and watch football because you're married. Hey, before you commit, this guy was a football fan and he used to go and watch football. Are you ready to provide that freedom that he will go and watch football? Before you got married to this guy, he was a womanizer. Are you ready to provide that freedom for him to go and humanize? That's why don't commit expecting that people will change just because you're with them. They will never change because you won't provide a freedom. And if you don't provide that freedom, you're not lovable. Are you lovable? That's the question. We mess a lot of our lives, we mess a lot of things because we think that just because we are part of life of some certain people, we have the right now to start changing them. We will make them not to drink because they used to drink. See, you might be lucky to find a person who might turn their lives around, not change for you, but turn their lives around. People who will just think like, oh, you know, I used to watch football, but now that I have a woman in the house or I have a man in the house, I don't think it's appropriate for me to go out there. Let me just stay at home. Let me just stay with my wife. Let me buy a television, watch the football at home with her. Let me train her to be a football fan so we can watch the football together. He does it from his own side. He feels like it's worthy to do that. But most of us get into relationships and then want to try to change people to become something that they were not. Remember, in any kind of a relationship, Even if you will be told that the two shall become one, it doesn't mean that you will sublime. It doesn't mean that you will lose your character and self into somebody. You're not salt. Salt can be consumed by water, but human being can never be consumed. So you're just a part of his world, not his world. You are not his world. You are just a part of his world. These things people don't want to listen because love has become a word than action. So when I tell a woman that you're my world, a woman feels so good. When a man is told that you are my world, a man feels so good. Rather than being told that what, you're just part of my world. When I say you're just part of my world, the woman will feel heartbroken. Why did he just tell me I'm part of it? But that's the reality. You're just part of me. Remember, you can't die for me and I can't die for you. If the two becomes one, it means you become one in terms of reasoning, in terms of resources, in terms of emotional support, spiritual support, financial support, physical support. But characters don't change. Those characters must be either tolerated, must be either accepted. Sometimes you might not accept them, but let me tell you, no human being, whether a man or a woman, will ever change for you just because you are in a relationship with them. So, are you in position to provide freedom? If you're dating that guy who's playing around with women, and somebody is telling you that I think if you get married to him, he will change. My friend, this is the question you want to ask yourself. Am I ready to provide the freedom for him to keep on playing around with women? If that is okay with you, why not? That's why I always tell people nobody can define a character of a good man for you. You can only define it for yourself. Defining a character of a good man or a good woman depends on what you can give. How lovable are you? Are you ready to provide freedom for these people to do whatever they want to do? Are you ready to provide the freedom for them to associate with their friends that you found them with? Some people find us with friends, and then when they come into this relationship, they want you now to become enemies of their enemies. Even my fiancée, I cannot be an enemy to her enemy just because she's an enemy to her. Look, I want to give you an example, guys. You are doing business, you are business partners. You meet a woman somewhere. You speak to this woman, and the woman, accept to be part of you. All right? You start a relationship with them. Then you tell this woman that, what, I want you to meet my business partner. Then all of a sudden, you meet the business partner. And this woman might have had something in the past with the business partner. What are you going to do? Are you going to leave your business partner for the woman? Or are you going to be with the woman and be with the business partner? That's where love starts to show itself. So as a woman who is in this spot, you are the one who's having an issue. You have an issue with my partner, and you have an issue with me because we are in love. That's an issue. You have a problem with my partner, my business partner. That's an issue. So it is you to ask yourself, am I in a position to provide the freedom for him to do business with the partner without me interfering, but still love him the way he is? Some people think that now they came into your life, they want to force you to leave your business partner. So if I leave my business partner, you are killing me. And people will say that, no, love, you have to sacrifice. So you have to sacrifice business for me. And then once I have already sacrificed business for you, what are you going to eat? Are you going to give me a business? Are you going to become my business partner? Well and good. This reality, people don't want to talk about them because we are liars. We are people who persuade each other with lies just to make you happy, just to interest you, just to look like we care so much. We can sacrifice, we can do this and that. Then, when you are in the relationship and they stop the business with their partners, and then they start loving you and problems start happening, they start to remind you, if it were not for you, I would still be with the partner. I would still be with my business. If it were not for you, I would not be suffering. Look, you lied to me until I left my business. Now we are suffering together. Don't ask me of anything. You're asking for food. What do you expect from me? You killed my business because of this shit of love. Sometimes they don't tell you. They just sit and they're looking at you and they're saying, if it was not about this idiot, now I'd be doing a very good business. If it was not for this cheap, stupid love, now I would be somewhere else. So, guys, the question is, for you to be lovable, you want to ask yourself, do you have the freedom? Can you provide the freedom for people to be the people they are? If you can't provide that freedom, then never say yes. Pass. Move on with your life. It doesn't mean that I'm the only person that can give you that love. The people that you feel you can't give freedom to them, you are not lovable to them. You are not. So find a person whom you can give freedom. People you can allow to be themselves. You know, this is funny, guys. There are some men or women who just love walking around the room naked. It is just their fun. They just feel fun to just walk inside the room naked. All right? Sometimes just wrapped on a cloth, a small cloth, or with the pants. They just don't want to dress in the room. That's just their nature. So are you in a position to give them the freedom to do that? If you're not feeling good with that, let me tell you something. You will never change them to stop doing it. People might lie to you. People lie. We lie, including me. We lie that, oh, I will change for you. I'll stop doing it. But in my mind, I really want to do it. And that's where relationship starts to crumble. That's where people start to struggle because inside, I'm struggling with stopping this for you. But outside, I'm trying to show you that I'm happy because I stopped it. Are you lovable or you're not? That's our question today, guys. Are you lovable or you're not? And what makes you to become lovable? Freedom is the first thing. Number two is being independent. My dear brothers and sisters, if you are not independent, if you don't know what you're looking for, if you don't know why you want to be in that relationship, you better stay single. If that relationship is going to make you free you from your debts, from your bills, um, you know, from your loneliness, all right? If it is because of this relationship that you are going to be happy, then you don't need it. If it is because of this relationship that you are going to be happy, what I mean is your life is not happy. You are not happy at all in your life. And it is just because of this man or this woman that you're seeing, if I find this woman, I'll be happy. That relationship is not for you. You are not lovable. If you are thinking that once I get married to this man or this woman, my bills are going to be taken care of, my children are going to live a better life, you are not lovable. It's not going to work. Because somebody's going to be asking me, but why? You see, relationships are not meant to solve problems. Relationships are not meant to solve problems. Relationships are meant to supplement, right? To make your life even more supported. It is like a support. How can I say it? Is relationship gives you uh, that block in between, not the pillar blocks. Relationship should never be your pillar because remember, if a house that is built and standing doesn't depend on itself and depends only on the pillars, when the pillar is removed, it will fall down. Therefore, if you're feeling like this relationship is what is going to give me my happiness, It is what is going to give me independence. It is what is going to remove poverty from my family. It is what you are not lovable. Don't attempt. Don't even move a step forward. Run for your life. You saw something, yes, DM me. Send me a DM. Don't get into a relationship because you want your issues to be solved. Be in a relationship asking yourself that this person on the other side, that man, that woman, how can I support them? That's the magic and the secret and the wisdom of starting any kind of relationship. Don't start it by, oh, they will support me. They will give me this. My peace is going to be, I will be happy with them. Start by asking, will they be happy with me? How will I support them? How will I be part of their life? How will I complement? How will I, you know, how good are you going to become part of their lives? Because the more you are good, the more you attract people towards you. The more you support people, the more people want you. Like, for example, if you go out there in the streets, a street kid will only love you because you're giving them bread. All right? And when you want to leave, they will feel bad. They will still stay there. If you don't come, they won't have food. So, street kid always expects that you will come and give food. So when you put yourself on the side of receiving, you put yourself on the side of, if not them, I won't be happy. You will never be happy forever in your life. Because there reaches a time, brother and sister, even however much your wife is rich, however much your husband is rich, it reaches a time when these people also need your support. We have been in relationships just because we are thinking that person is going to be good to me, but we don't ask ourselves, how good can we be? Are you independent? Do you know what you're looking for? Never start a relationship to make your life better. Make your life better. Be in the space of peace. Be in the space of happiness. Be in the space of doing everything for yourself. Be in the space of accomplishing every responsibility that is part of your life. And then that's the time you need a relationship. Why you need it? You only need it for here. The mental support, the emotional support. You need it just because you need someone to advise you on how to handle your things, the daily things. That's why it's been said or concluded that what men are looking for is stability and respect. Why was that said? It's because women were never meant to work. Women were never meant to go out there to work. But our society changed it and we made a woman to look like a man. We told the woman that you are equally, um, you know, I don't know, but I think we never understood this right. Somebody told women that you are equal to men. And women went out there, started, working and earning. So it's become very difficult to understand what a woman needs and what a man needs. Because basically, when God created a man, he created a man, and a man, when he saw a man was so lonely and alone and needed someone to be part of them, he only brought a woman to give a man stability and respect the man. That's why he took a rib from a man. He did not create another woman out of sand or mud or something. He took a rib from a man so that the woman would respect the man. The woman will provide the stability. The stability here is not what you guys sometimes think. Stability is not giving that man financial support. It's not giving man money. Stability here is not, you know, picking a man from nothing into something, and then after some years you'll be telling us that, this man, I got him without nothing. I took him from the garbage. Who told women to pick men from garbage? Who told women that you should pick a man who has nothing and put him into something? He's going to disappoint you 100%. He will disappoint you. That's the truth. And we are hiding. We don't want to speak about it. No man will stand a woman who took him from scratch to something. They will never stand because they are not created to stand that. So sometimes when I hear people talking about this, I picked her or I picked him from this and that, I ask myself, like, do we really know what we were created for? Do we really know our responsibilities in life? We were created as men to pick the women and put them somewhere. That's why a rib was picked from us. They are less in quantity than us. Just one rib was taken and she was created. So we are meant to pick them from nothing into something. That's how respect comes. So now, when a woman picks you from nothing into something, what happens is you change the responsibilities. Now, a man has to respect the woman and provide stability. And we are not created for that. We are not created as men to respect and provide stability. No, that is not our work. That was a woman's work. But now these responsibilities has been changed. We've been confused. This is why this generation relationships don't work, because we are confused. Women have become men. Men have become women. People don't want stability. People want cheap things. People want easy things. Men don't want to work. Men want to sleep, wake up, find breakfast, you know, play PlayStation. The wife is outside looking for money or doing something, coming back, doing everything. And then still, with that, we still need to be respected and be given stability. Stability over what? Women don't want to be led. Woman wants to find a man who will go to kitchen, a man who will mop her house, a man who will take care of the kid, who will change the pampers, and all the rest. So we are in somewhat confused generation, right? It doesn't mean that when I mention a man who will mop, who will do this, that is not a responsibility of a man. It is, but in which way? Hello, guys. Can we tap the screen, guys? Tap the screen for the likes, please. If you're watching, please don't just watch. Don't just feel being touched. When you are touched, please like the video as well. So the most important thing, guys, try as much as possible to become independent. Try to know what you want. Don't just stay there. Thank you, Liz Kim. Thanks for the gift. Guys, by the way, I also accept the gift. So if you have some flowers on your account, don't miss to send them here. It motivates, it inspires, it makes me to come around again. So, brother and sister, I would wish that before you guys start to get into relationship, try to have a checkbox. Are you in position to provide the freedom? Check. Are you independent? Are you looking for help or are you looking for love? This video is on my YouTube channel where I was asking, is it love or is it freedom? Is it love? Is it help? Are you needy or you are ready to be loved? All right? Most of us are just needy. You get somebody like, oh, what are you looking for? I'm looking for a man. Why? I can't manage myself. What can't you manage? Oh, things are tough. When things are tough, you don't need a man. You need yourself and you need to heal. You need to fix the things that are tough in your life. That's when you go for a man. We are hardened. Some of us grew up in a hard life and we learned through that hard life. During our time when we were growing up, we had grandparents who could take us to seclusion and teach us about relationships. They could tell us why they were getting married. They could tell us why a man needed to get married. And they could tell us the space of a man and the space of a woman. If you go back to your home these days, you will never find a grandpas, like I'm talking now to an African man, all right, or woman. Think about your grandma and grandpa, all right? Who goes to the kitchen to cook food? Is it your grandpa or grandma? Who goes to grind? That there are some of those. Melvin, thank you, Melvin. I see you. I see your gift. Thank you so much. There are those community where you have that stone, and you take grains and you grind it. Who does that? I'm not talking about your generation. I'm talking about the generation behind your grandpa. That's why those people still love themselves in their 50s and 60s and 80 and 100 years, and they have got no issues. Today, responsibilities have been shared, and we are sharing without knowledge. Sharing responsibility is the best thing that can happen. But before you do that, you've got to know why you're sharing the responsibilities. It is not an obligation, it is not a requirement. It is a sense and an act of kindness. For example, my wife is expectant. All right. Some people will not understand what expectant means. It means my wife is pregnant. Okay. So if at all I'm working and I've never cooked and she's pregnant, what am I going to do? I'll cook. That's an act of kindness. All right. There has to be a support. Before, when you ask my grandma is going to tell me that, John, when I was heavy of your mother, my husband never went to the kitchen. My sister came here. My family sent a younger the daughter of their family to come and take care of the cooking and everything. That is how their relationship was. A man was never allowed to take the responsibility of a woman, and they felt themselves as men. They grew up as men. Today we have men who are growing up like women because we have exchanged responsibilities and we are thinking that is fun, that is life, that is kuchanuka, that is growth, that is being independent. Because a woman has money, now the man has to kneel down and mop the house. A man has to go to the kitchen and cook while the woman is watching television. It's not because there's something this woman is doing, so an act of kindness, let me help. It's an obligation in the house. You won't get the respect, you won't get the stability. And you will go around looking for a man who will provide you that. Because we are missing it as a community, we are missing it as a society. So independence and knowing what you know helps you to grow in terms of relationship. It helps you to understand to what extent can you go and what extent should you not go. So that we make relationships look like what it